you surprised by anything that you're seeing relative to the opportunity that data dynamics has to help enterprise customers?
No, I'm not really surprised. I've been around long enough. I'm not surprised by anything. But if I go back, if we're talking, specifically around the space of data dynamics, if I go back to my days of running infrastructure, the storage environment, we just bought more storage, right? So we're going back to the 90s and the noughties. The data explosion was creating a requirement for more and more storage footprint. At the time, our view was we didn't understand the data. So probably for financial services institutions, we need to keep everything for at least 7 years. Well, why don't we just keep everything forever? And that created a storage footprint sprawl, but it was all right because storage wasn't expensive. And every time I needed to buy another array, I was getting a better cost per terabyte than I got on the previous array. So I'm doing a good job. Although I'm just promoting storage sprawl, I'm getting a better deal every time. So that was the way we looked at it. And of course, now the world is slightly different. You need to know what your data is and prove that you're managing it appropriately. From a data protection perspective, especially for personal information, GDPR and other client-sensitive information. So just investing in a sprawling storage footprint just doesn't hack it anymore. And also the focus on infrastructure costs are as high as they've ever been, and continually buying more footprint is just burning unnecessary dollars. What I am surprised about is that there's still companies out there who haven't taken proactive steps to understand their data and look to optimize their understanding and then securing the management of that data. An example, when we've been into a number of sites and done an initial proof of concept and some of our current engagements where we review the enterprise, we see companies who are still backing up, replicating and copying data that is sitting on storage. And when I say sitting on storage, high-end expensive storage, and that data hasn't been accessed for over 5 years. So the cost of managing data that no one is looking at is absolutely huge. And then of course, if you have multiple copies of particular data, there is a risk of contamination, inappropriate access, and then arguably that some of that sensitive information may get exposed. So the whole concept of know what your data is, where it is, what's the underlying footprint that it sits on. I am amazed that if this type of view and approach and tooling was around when I was managing infrastructure, I would have been all over it because it could have helped me reclaim storage footprint, which would mean obviously at some point I may need more, but it would delay my next purchase of that next array. It'd move me into the next budget cycle. It'd help me meet my number because obviously every year my number needed to be less. So yes, people are gradually getting around to the understanding that there's a good opportunity here to optimize the understanding of your data and optimizing the underlying storage environment that it resides upon.